Aaron has flown with me a handful of times in the past, and now he said he's ready to start easing himself into the left seat.
Alright, so what we'll do is we'll get the weather and call ground, get our taxi clearance.
Sky conditions scattered 3,200, ceiling broken 4,200, and broken 5,000. Temperature 27, 2.19er, altimeter 3001. Visual approach is in use, landing and departing runway 13 or runway 17. On initial contact, advise you have information, India.
Alright, we have India. I'll just tell them we want to taxi out for a northwest departure because that's where Lago Vista is. San Marcos ground, Skyhawk 809901.
Skyhawk 809901, San Marcos ground.
San Marcos ground 809901, Cessna 172 at Berry Aviation, like to taxi out for a VFR northwest bound departure. Information, India.
Cessna 9901, runway 13, taxi via Alpha Juliet, cross runway 8.
Taxi to runway 13 via Alpha Juliet, cross runway 8, 809901. Alright, you want to taxi it?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so go ahead and get your feet on the rudder pedals there with your heels on the bottom and the balls of your foot kind of on the top. And you can feel it, you kick it to the right, we'll get a little speed here. Turns the rudder to the right and we go right, kick it to the left, we go to the left. And then you have differential brakes, tap the right brake, you feel it pull the right, you tap the left brake, you feel it pull the left.
Runway 13, taxi via Alpha Bravo Charlie and Juliet, cross runway 8.
So I'll be here kind of guiding you.
Runway 13 for departure.
So we're just going to go out this way, and we're going to intercept this yellow, the solid yellow line, so we're going to cross this dotted yellow line.
Okay.
And we're going to kind of intercept the line up there.
We're going westbound.
A little bit left, a little bit left.
Push in on
With
the
your
left
heels.
to go.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little more left, yeah. There you go. And then start to ease up on it. And then just let the airplane kind of get right on that line. Fine adjustments, left and right. And it's sluggish. It's pretty sluggish when we're going at slow speeds like this. So here, we're coming up to this turn, so I want to just tap the brakes just a little bit. Ever so slightly. Kind of feel me tapping it with my toes.
Yeah.
And then we'll push with our right heel. Turn the rudder, and we may need a little bit of right brake to help it. We just kick it back left, get back on that line. You feel how sluggish it is?
Yeah.
How much you got to push it, kind of wait for it to come back. When you're on the runway, that's way different because right now the airplane's being moved left and right with the steerable nose gear. So when you turn the rudder left or right, it's turning that nose gear. But once you pick up speed, the rudder starts taking a lot more effect.
Okay.
So we're clear to cross the runway here. Look left and look right, we look clear, and I turned on the strobe lights and the landing light. And my instructions do say cross runway 8. So we're just going to chase this line, and then we're going to kind of turn to the right, and the taxiway continues going that way. You see it?
Yeah.
I'll pull a little bit of power out, so we're going to start kicking it to the right. May need a little bit of brake, a little bit of right brake. Then we just get on the yellow line. Way to identify what taxiway you're on is a little right rudder to keep it on that line there. A sign with a black background and yellow letters, that's saying you're here. You're on Juliet.
Okay.
You're on taxiway Juliet. Yellow background with black letters saying Kilo goes that way. So that's Kilo right there. Alright, we cross the hold line, so we'll turn the lights off. Yeah, just fine adjustments on the rudder. Starts going one way, just correct. And
Alright, clear to runway 13, Alpha Bravo.
before takeoff, doors and windows closed and latched. We'll leave the windows open for a minute.
Runway 8 and Juliet.
Up, down, elevators up, down, rudder, left and right. Just doing all the before takeoff checklist. Elevator trim set for takeoff. Flight instruments set to the barometric pressure. That's good. And we'll set this via the compass and runway 13 right there. Flight instruments are good. Fuel selector is on both. Mixture goes to rich. Parking brake is set. I'm going to hold them with my feet as well. So we throttle up to 1700. Over here on the tack, we're going up to 1700 RPM. We'll check the magnetos. Left, a little rough, we can fix that, back to both. Right, a little rough, back to both. So that just means that there's a little bit of carbon on the spark plugs. So we lean it out, we're decreasing the amount of fuel that's running into the cylinders, and we're getting it hot.
Okay.
We're heating it up, and it's going to burn that carbon out. And just let it run like that for a second.
So what's the difference between twisting and pulling it out?
Twisting just does it really slowly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Copy, ready to copy. 9 November Delta.
System 9 November Delta, cleared to San Marcos Airport via radar vectors to a Muse intersection.
Clean.
Then direct San Angelo.
Back to both.
Direct. Climb and maintain
Clean. Back to both. No missing anymore.
10 minutes after departure.
Carb heat. Slight drop. We got plenty of fuel. Suction's good. Green, green. Turn off the alternator and we get a drop. Turn it back on. Warning light goes away.
Alright, I got clear to San Marcos via vectors to a Muse intersection.
Pull it all the way back to idle. We get a warning line on the vacuum. The vacuum's almost gone. We pull the standby vacuum. Vacuum pressure comes back up and the light goes away. That's an IFR thing.
November Delta.
Just in case these fail while you're in the clouds.
System 519er November Delta, readback correct.
Alright. Carb heat, engine instruments, we checked all that. Throttle, idle, flaps. We want to get them all the way up, and they are. Departure procedures, he's going to give us a left turn out, most likely. We'll listen to what he has to say. Going to San Marcos Tower and 119.0, which is Austin approach. It is standby. And we're squawking VFR. Good to go. You about ready for takeoff?
Yep.
Keep your distance, buddy. Alright, we'll go ahead and shut our windows. So if you want, I can just mainly do the takeoff and you can just kind of rest your hands on the yoke and just follow my lead. San Marcos Tower, Skyhawk 80991 holding short of runway 13, ready for VFR departure.
Skyhawk 80991, San Marcos Tower, hold short runway 13, landing traffic.
Hold short runway 13, 80991. We can open up these windows again.
How many degrees of flaps do you give?
Just a 0 for a regular takeoff.
Okay.
If we were getting at, if this was like a grass runway, or if it was like a really short runway, we'd give it 10 degrees.
Okay.
And that kind of helps us get up faster. The transponder altitude, carb heat cold, mixture is rich, flaps are up, fuel selector is on both trims set for takeoff. Landing light on, and we'll get our strobe lights on when we get our takeoff clearance.
In this plane, it's the only way to seeing level flaps actually having to look out, or do you have an indication on?
Right here, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you gotta flick it to get it to move. But that's why I count when I'm dropping them. I go 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, I know that's about 10 degrees.
Okay.
Plus I can feel it. Like I can just feel how much flaps I have in there by the way the airplane's reacting and flying.
That's a nice app.
I know, it's I paid $200 a year for it. There's a little experimental. Oh, he's moving. God, what is he doing? Like 80 knots? That's an RV-10. That's what I was just telling you about.
Okay.
Those are sweet airplanes.
Runway 5 Charlie in November, turn right taxi Echo and contact ground 120.12.
Righty, that going on ground. 5 Charlie November.
We're probably about to get cleared. Just as soon as he gets off the runway. I bet. It's not good to have that all the way in while we're sitting on the ground.
0991, runway 13 clear for takeoff. You can turn left or right on course.
Okay, left on course, runway 13 clear for takeoff, 80991. Alright, strobe lights on.
1589 Delta, holding short of 13, ready VFR departure.
1589 Delta, San Marcos Tower, hold short runway 13.
Alright, we're clear left or we're clear right?
Runway 13, 1589 Delta.
Alright, and we're just going to line up with the runway, and I'm going to real quick just double check my gyro, make sure that it's reading the correct heading. Telling me how many feet we have remaining on the runway from where we entered. Alright, lining up, and we're right on 130 degrees. I'm going to drop my heels down to the floor, and I'm going to ease the power up to full. Up to full. Engine instruments look like they're in the green, and airspeed's alive. We're going to rotate about 60 on the airspeed. There's 55. There's 60. I'm just going to ease back ever so slightly.
Takeoff, right turn westbound approved.
Clear for takeoff, 1589 Delta.
And it's kind of counterintuitive when our speed is this low, but we control our speed with how high our nose is, and we control how fast we're climbing with the throttle. And obviously we want to climb as fast as possible, so we want the throttle all the way in. And that's why I'm just going to hold it here. And I want to maintain 76 knots. And that's very exact because that's the speed at which this airplane climbs the fastest.
Okay.
If you imagine a graph, it's kind of where the trade-off happens.
And all that information's just like in the flight manual for the plane itself?
The flight manual, yeah. Flight manual is required to be in the airplane. I keep it in here. And once we get 500 feet, another 100 feet to go.
San Marcos traffic, Cessna 4055 Foxtrot, 5 miles to the east with India for landing.
4055 Foxtrot, San Marcos Tower, enter left downwind, runway 13.
Entering a left downwind for 1355 Foxtrot.
And I'm just kind of adjusting the nose here to maintain 76, or as close as I can. See, from over here, I have to deal with parallax. I'm not looking at them at the same angle as you are, so I've got to kind of interpolate where they are. Got an aircraft off to our right about 4 miles. Looks like he was, well, he dropped off the radar now, but he was 600 feet above us. Sending, we'll be out of his way.
Cessna 9 November Delta, runway 13. Cleared for takeoff, turn left heading 360.
Alright, clear for takeoff 360, turn left 360 for 5 November Delta.
I-5 Foxtrot, traffic ahead to your left, 1.5 miles northbound of Cessna, climbing out of 1,700. Go ahead and descend down to padded altitude, please. It's 1,600.
We're descending to 1,600, 55 Foxtrot.
I see him. He's right there.
Get the traffic in sight. Head to your left about a mile.
We're looking.
Alright, coming up on 3,000 feet. What I'm going to do is just push the nose down, let the airplane level off, arrest our vertical speed, get it down to 0, and then just hold the airplane at 3,000, and I'm going to use this trim. Have I ever taught you how to use this?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. This is freaking, like, drives me up the wall when people don't use the trim.
They're
like,
just holding it. So
oh yeah, I'll be
stay
flying
steady.
with a student and like they'll have their hands on the yoke and I'll just reach over here and I'll stick my finger in between their hand and I'm like, how hard are you holding that damn thing? And then once our engine picks up a little bit because we level off, you know, we'll just ease the power back a little bit. Maybe back down to about 2,400 on the tack. Be kind of a happy place. And we'll just let the airplane kind of settle, and if we need to add trim, we will. But yeah, like I'll be flying with a student and I'll notice they're like having a hard time holding altitude, like they keep going up or down.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, let go of the yoke. And they'll let it go and the airplane will just shoot up. I'm like, dude, use your trim. I think it's pretty well trimmed out actually. May need a little adjustment, but you can have the controls if you'd like. Your flight controls.
Alright.
And what I also teach people, and what pretty much every other instructor teaches people, is positive exchange of flight controls. So just to be clear on who has the controls at what time, I'll say, you have the flight controls, and then you just read back, I have the flight controls. And then I say, alright, you got the flight controls. It's just kind of a three-way communication. And it's like triple verifying that, alright, you got them. I'm not touching the airplane. So as far as heading goes, 340 where that orange heading bug is pretty good. So right.
Foxtrot, contact ground 120.12.
So keep it going in this direction and kind of look out on the horizon and pick a landmark out there that's kind of in the right direction. And then just fly towards that landmark. And then when that one gets too close to you, pick another one. Pick another one. This is VFR, remember? This is visual flight rules, so we want to be looking out the window.
Yeah.
Another thing I catch people doing all the time is they're like, it's like
I
a video.
was already trying to stare down.
It's a video game, right? That's what they start doing. I'm going to tell them we're going to switch frequencies. San Marcos Tower 0991, we're going to switch to Austin approach. We'll see you.
None of order.
Yeah, whatever you pick out there, just kind of keep it going in that direction.
100, join the localizer. 551,
And,
November Delta, turning right 100 to join localizer. Main Tango Echo, turn right, heading 260. 8 Mike Echo, 8 Mike Echo, flying 260.
Yeah, it should be more like that.
8 Mike Echo. 307 Alpha, when able, proceed on course at or above 3,500. You're going to cross through a
Do you see the Lewis Mountain Ranch water tower out there?
That's the one I was looking at.
That's what you're looking at?
Yeah.
So my landmark is like take that and aim like 2 or 3 degrees to the right of it.
Okay.
That's kind of what I was thinking. But of course I'm looking at the iPad and cheating. But yeah, that's a good landmark. Something that's easier for you to glance at and pick out. Don't like pick a tree or like a house. You're going to lose it.
Yeah.
Localizer, cleared ILS runway 13 approach. Maintain your best forward speed till Gary.
A little altitude there.
551 November Delta cleared.
So if it's gradually climbing on you like that, just give it a little nose down trim, which push the wheel up.
Okay.
This wheel down here.
3,000 until established on the localizer.
And you're trying to keep it at 3,000?
Yeah, 3,000.
Okay.
May Mike Echo, start reducing your speed if able back
Wow,
to
they're busy.
120 knots. You're following a Cessna on the ILS approach about 5 miles ahead of you.
No problem. Reducing to 120 and be following the Cessna, Mike Echo.
Austin approach Skyhawk 80991.
Shark 80991 Austin.
80991 Cessna 172, approximately 10 miles to the north of San Marcos, 3,200 VFR up to Lago Vista. Like to be on flight following. Gonna give us a 4-digit code.
(991) squawk 0245.
0245 in the box, 991. Alrighty, we're in the system.
How do you know the code, the frequencies for the radio?
What do you mean? Like for what?
Like when you have to change frequencies to get to Austin versus San Marcos?
Oh, I just like the back of my hand, yeah.
Okay.
Park radar contact, term heading 300, climb.
If you don't know them, you can find them in the airport facility directories. So go to the directory for San Marcos. It's in the form of a book, or you can go through ForeFlight, and it's there. And just look up approach frequencies, and 119.0 will be one of them.
Left heading 130.
Left turn 130, 8 Mike Echo.
1 November Delta, contact San Marcos Tower 126.82.
There you go. Good job getting that altitude back.
Austin 73.
Make sure this thing's not overheating. I had to point the vent at it because it was like I could see the screen starting to get black. That liquid crystal display is like, oh my god, I'm boiling. Got a death grip going on? Oh yeah, you got a death grip going on.
I mean, I'm trying not to.
Oh, you're fine. Right, let go of the yoke. Airplane should stay there. Yeah. So really, all it takes is just like three fingers like this.
9 November
Just
Delta,
real subtle.
commute.
Yeah. Or even just one hand, whatever. I can see sweat on your finger though.
Approach, where are you landing?
You're good.
Hey man, not a lot of people just come out and fly planes like this.
Oh, I know. But
3855, clear direct LOL.
Direct LOL, Southwest 3855.
it's a lot.
91 radar contact as reported, proceed on course for Lago Vista.
On course to Lago Vista. 991.
And 1 November Delta Roger, turn left heading 310.
So we're just going to kind of keep flying. Even after we pass, lined up with the runway, we're just going to keep flying. We're going to go out away from the airport a little bit and come in at a 45-degree angle to the runway.
Okay.
And enter what's called a 45-degree downwind. And then go downwind, base, final. We're going to land going this way because of the wind.
73 kilo tank.
Alright. Lago Vista traffic, Skyhawk 80991, approximately 5 miles to the south of the field. We're going to go out to the northeast just a little bit, enter a 45, left downwind for runway 15, full stop, Lago Vista. Get the weather.
Lago Vista, Rusty Allen, Airport. Automated weather observation 2.
You doing all right?
050
Yep.
Zulu weather wind 140 at 6 visibility 104,100 scattered 4,600 scattered 5,500 scattered temperature 28 Celsius dew point 17 altimeter 30 2001, remark. Density altitude 3,000.
Got Windows 110 at 7.
Lago Vista, Rusty Allen, Airport, automated weather observation 2051, Zulu, weather, wind 140 at 6, visibility
140 at 6. Okay, well it's pretty much right down the runway. So we're going to go ahead and descend down to 2,200. I'm going to start easing the power out. And I say 2,200 because the airport elevation is 1,200,
Okay.
and your pattern altitude is always 1,000 AGL, in at least this type of airplane. So you can kind of see the runway out there. We're going to get set up to where we can turn and be about 45 degrees offset from the runway.
Okay.
Which will probably be right about now. We can go ahead and start a turn. So go ahead and start turning just kind of towards the airport there. And just keep that gentle descent rate going. You can use your trim if you'd like. Just anything to take that pressure off. And this is not an airport for beginners to learn at. Unless you're like learning to fly out of this airport. So I'm going to do the landing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because you can notice, it's hard to see here, but there's a lot of hills. And the ends of the runway are like drop-offs.
Okay.
When you get down there, it's actually really pretty. This is like, I would love living out here. But
Yeah, they got nice houses.
Oh yeah. And actually a lot of these hangars at this airport are houses. Like people live here.
Wow.
Lago Vista traffic, Skyhawk 809901 on a 2 mile, 45 degree left downwind for runway 15. It'll be a full stop, Lago Vista. They're kind of aimed for the center of the airport there. So bring it back to the right a little bit. You're doing good. Don't have that death grip though.
I'm trying to aim a plane right now.
You're good. You got it. And once we get ready to get on the downwind, I'll take the controls.
Okay.
And we'll level off here at 2,200. Actually, when we get to 2,200, I'll take the controls.
Okay.
That'll be easier. Alright, we're pretty much there. My flight controls.
Okay.
I've got the airplane. And I'm just looking over your shoulder here, back here, making sure that there's no traffic that I can see coming. Nobody on downwind. Then increase the power just a little bit. We want to maintain 1,000 feet above the airport here. Lago Vista traffic, Skyhawk 809901 on left downwind, runway 15. Full stop, Lago Vista. But yeah, this place is awesome. A cool airport. This is where we get all of our general maintenance done. Alrighty, we're about to be being the numbers. I'm just going to talk my way through this.
Okay.
And I understand, I'm going to give it a couple swipes of trim there. Bring it back to 1500 RPM. And get the speed down into the wide arc so we can drop the first notch of flaps. 1,1000, 2,1000, 3,1000. We want to get that speed down into the white. And the white delineates the range at which it's okay to use the flaps.
Okay.
For structural reasons, you don't want to go any faster than that. The flaps. Lago Vista traffic, Skyhawk 809901 left base, runway 15, Lago Vista. I like to announce just before I turn, kind of like turning on your blinker. So if there is anybody on base, they'll hear me.
Yeah.
And be like, whoa, 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 don't be on base yet. Alright. Boost pump, cow flaps, carb heat is out, gas is on the fullest tank, undercarriage is down, mixture is in, prop, power, trim is set, straps, you're strapped in,
yep. And
flaps are down at our desired setting. Lago Vista traffic, Skyhawk 809901, final runway 15, full stop, Lago Vista. We're a little low. But you see these crazy hills out here?
Yeah.
It's actually pretty crazy driving up to the airport. It's a really steep road. Alright, my iPad just gave me a 500-foot warning, saying we're 500 feet above the ground. You feel us kind of start sinking there for a second? That's that wind rolling off the hills, coming up and down. 1,1000, 2,1000, 3,1000. That should be 20 degrees of flaps. Looks about right. The gauge agrees. I'm just going to kind of keep the nose straight with the rudder. There's constant adjustments on the controls. You don't ever want to go stiff. The airplane will start doing stuff that you don't like. A little fast, about 70. pull that power out and start easing that nose up, bleeding off that speed. And we'll go power all the way out to idle, and I'm just going to hold the nose off until we bleed speed off. Hold it off, hold it off, hold it off, hold it off. There we go. Right on the center line.
When someone expresses interest in becoming a pilot to me, I like to do what I can to show them the ropes and what it's like to fly an airplane. Aaron is no beginner when it comes to riding in a small aircraft, but this was his first time riding in the left seat and legitimately flying the airplane in cruise. This was more of a discovery flight than a lesson. But if Aaron does decide to pursue lessons, we'll begin with a baseline curriculum covering aircraft control first. For now, we're just going to take it easy. I'll help him through everything, and we'll just have a good time on this flight. If you like these videos, you can hit subscribe to be notified when new videos are released. I also have a Patreon campaign, so if you'd like to support the production of these videos, you can head over to patreon.com/MrAviation101 to lend your helping hand.